Hey, so oddly specific, but there's a question that comes up every now and then that I find kind of funny here, which is the obvious question over the Vartan. Well, in this case, it's going to be a Nightcrow running Vartan skills. But what is the deal with Huapango Winds and Alcolas? Why do they suck so hard? And what is their purpose? So here's the interesting part. I never really realized until a little bit ago, but there's actually a very particular reason that they are the way that they are. Because they're one of the only ones that are actually built for an extremely oddly specific setup. Because think about it for a second. When on Earth would you ever need True Strike and Stagger at the same time? The Averse and Air Touch thing is just, a damage bonus. But when would you need True Strike and Stagger at the same time? When would you need an accuracy boost at the same time that the other guy needs a dodge reduction, right? Look at this map right here. When is the one time that you need that? They're essentially a bad weather specialist, is what I'm getting at. That essentially, well, definitely in this version, it would be more so when you're on like swamp tiles and rain, but if you didn't know, you get a 35% to 40% bonus if, for example, you're standing on the stone here, or if you're standing on other kind of good footing, but the rules are different if you're standing in the water or standing on bad footing, namely that your accuracy goes down. Now, in most cases, your accuracy and your evasion is going to essentially kind of balance out. But if you're in a situation where, like, let's say you're on good footing and the other guy isn't, you're going to have a better chance to potentially block that. 35% in this case. Or if it's raining really bad, then depending on how bad the weather is, it will also affect what's going on there. So for example, if it's completely downpouring and you're in a swamp or something, suddenly that ability to go and make sure that the other guy can't hit and your ability to hit them through that storm is going to suddenly matter. Now, back in PSP, this was typically like a case where honestly that probably wouldn't have been enough to make a difference, and usually something like True Strike or Dodge would have done that job instead. And like one of the questions was why they didn't change that this time around, and I think that might be why. Because they are very specifically built to fight in bad weather, and this is probably the only time that we're ever going to see it ever actually take place here. I mean, granted, if you're using Canopus in early game, probably part of the reason that his accuracy might have been, better in some cases, might have been if you decided to run those skills, maybe. But realistically speaking, though, it's just funny to have that as a role. Okay, y'all have yourselves a good one. Take care.